So Switch 2 has finally been released. GameCube games are finally here, with the first three being Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. I have only played one of those three, but I'm really excited to try the F-Zero games. I haven't really heard of them, but I'm interested, but now I've gotten off track. But there's a problem with the GameCube games on Nintendo Switch. You wanna know what it is? There's already a handful of games Nintendo has remade, and I'm not counting Super Mario Sunshine because 3 All-Stars got discontinued. There's already a handful of GameCube games Nintendo remade, and I'll be going over them in a minute. And if you want to see more videos, just go through my video library. But if you want to see more coming videos, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the notification bell. I appreciate everyone who does, it means the world to me. Please enjoy the video. But I just want to quickly go over the expansion pass. Wow. Just pure wow. I think that the expansion pass is actually becoming worth it after all this time. $50 to $80 a year for a large library of N64, GBA, GameCube games, Switch 2 edition deals for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and DLCs. Yeah, I think it's now become worth it. And they didn't even raise the price when adding all that extra stuff. My mind is just blown. And not only that, but new features are coming to the N64. Nintendo, you've really changed the prices for a lot of stuff, but you're also changing a couple of things to make things slightly more worth it, like the N64's new upgrades, and they didn't even raise the price on the expansion pass for adding all this new stuff. It just blows my mind. Although I've never had an interest in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I think I might actually try them someday. But on to the GameCube. Here's the problem with it. There's a handful of games that Nintendo has already remade from the GameCube. Games like Pikmin 1 and 2, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, Metroid Prime Remaster. And then there's Tales of Symphonia and some other third-party games that come from GameCube that got remakes alongside other GameCube games. And in fact, I actually have an entire recording that you're probably watching right now. I'm not sure if Nintendo was planning whether or not they were going to add a GameCube to Switch Online. Maybe they were planning to do it in 2023, but realizing that they had a handful, they actually decided to remake a GameCube game that's actually really worth getting remake, which was Thousand Year Door. Meanwhile, there's games like Pikmin and other stuff, and Metroid Prime that also got remakes. And there's quite a handful of games that we saw at the end of that GameCube trailer with games like Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, Chibi Robo, what else? Super Mario Strikers. I'm not sure why they're adding Super Mario Strikers even though it got remade on Switch. I'm gonna take a look at the ratings right now. IGN rating 8, public ratings around 6.5. I can understand why people would want to bring back Mario Strikers. I did play a little bit of Mario Strikers on Wii. I did enjoy it, but I never really got truly invested in it. Maybe I'll get invested in Mario Strikers on GameCube. Who knows? While GameCube has quite a couple of gems on it, there's quite a couple of third-party games that are also very memorable. And so far, seems like the only third-party classics collection we're getting on Switch for expansion pass is the Sega Genesis Classics collection. And I'm gonna keep yelling at Nintendo to start adding some third-party games to the N64 and GameCube, and even the GBA to an extent, because I want to be able to play the Sonic games I never played. And where's the Tony Hawk games? And I've heard a lot about Super Monkey Ball, and I've never really played it, but I think I would like to be able to play the first 2 games on GameCube. And the problem with the Nintendo GameCube and Nintendo 64 is that they only have third-party games on them. And that really limits their library. And although the games on them are really good, that's not to say that the third-party games that were on the N64 and GameCube back in the day are bad, because they're very good. At least that's what I've heard. I've only had like a handful of GameCube games when I was a kid, and technically I'm still 14. But anyway, the point of me saying this is that I somewhat recognize the GameCube games and N64 games that have games that when they're good, they're absolutely amazing, and the third-party games can be tend to overlook, but when people love them, they flippin' love them. That's my point of view anyway. So now that the hype for Switch 2 is finally dissipated, now that we have a Switch 2 in our hands, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit disappointed. And it's not just because that I can't get a Nintendo Switch 2, although that's kind of part of it. The reason I'm disappointed is because that feels like the games that we're getting on it, whether it's the Nintendo Classics, the GameCube, or the games that we're getting, just don't seem all that worth it. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see that GameCube is finally coming to Switch Online, but I personally still am having a hard time seeing what's the point. I think once I'm an adult, I'm gonna become a hardcore collector for GameCube and Wii games, and I might not even need the expansion pass. If I could, I'd deserve it, but they haven't raised the price for the expansion pass, so it's becoming quite worth it. So the only thing that Nintendo would need to do if they really want the Nintendo Classics to keep going strong is to just add more third-party games. I'm sure that they'll probably need to buy the license, which will cost them an arm and a leg, but getting some underrated third-party games would probably get them back their money for the people who subscribe to the expansion pass. They don't need to add every third-party game, just the extremely good ones. We could all just, you know what? Comment down below the third-party games that you flippin' loved on the GameCube or N64 or any older console, and comment them down below. I'm really love for Nintendo to do this. It'd make the expansion pass a lot more worth it. And it'd really make the expansion pass worth the value of $50 to $80 a year. Will Nintendo do this? I highly doubt it, because this is me making predictions and not someone professional. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell, and I'll see you all next time.